That's the blower motor. It has come out now. But the actual quality of oil is not bad. But there is enough oil. Start it up. And we are back with the second video for this Audi.
This was the cheapest Audi in the country.
Now for the last week's video, we went through all the things that was wrong with the car on a very minor basis. But this time I'm going to try to start and fix them. The very first problem that I'm going to attack is the blower motor making a lot of noise. Now in order to fix that, all that I need is a few hand tools. So basically all that is going to happen is I'm going to take that glove box out, and behind that glove box is the actual blower motor. So I'm going to remove that blower motor, and typically the fan actually loses all the greasing. So I'm going to get the blower motor out, put some new grease on it. I can use some multi-purpose grease or some WD-40, and that should actually fix the problem. To remove the glove box, I'm using simple hand tools. So first thing I need to do is pop the glove box open. There is 3 Torx 20 in there that I'm going to try to get out. This here is called a right angle tool. So I'm going to use this tool and try to get. There's one screw here on the side of the glove box. Now looking at the bottom, there's 1, 2, and 3 more screws down here, which I'm going to remove. And the glove box should just pop right out. Now having a look at the connections that I need to remove. Removing this light here, this plug. And there were these 4 plugs attached to the actual glove box. So these 2 plugs were just like pretty much separate them and they just come out. That's a clip, so just press and pull. And the last one here was again 2 tabs on the sides. Just press them and then they should just pull right out. Right, so with the glove box out of the way, let's see what else I need to take out. So that's my blower motor there. So I'm going to start with removing the bottom panel here. For this bottom panel here, there's just 1, 2, 3 clips at the front. You can pop that out. The whole thing starts to come out. For the light here, you can just again pry it out. The clip for the light has come out. And this panel can sit on the side and we can continue to explore. There is 1 pull tab connection attached to the actual blower motor that has been plugged out here. Now to remove it from its shroud, I need to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 visible screws. So I'm gonna get started on that. Well, 7mm is a little bit too big. I'm gonna try 6mm and see. That's the smallest one I've got, which is a 5mm. So let me try that. As if that totally makes sense. 5's too small, 6 too big. So I've got this 732s, which seems to be the right size for these. And I've got it on an extension so I can easily reach all the bolts up there. Now very luckily I found this attachment that I can attach to my drill and still be able to use the same socket size. That's the blower motor. It has come out now.
Now looking at the motor itself, there seems to be no physical damage on it.
What I'm thinking is there might be some lack of grease in there. You can definitely feel it. I'm going to try to start spraying this and maybe put some multi-purpose or like workshop grade grease. And that should actually fix the noise it's making. Now the plan of the action is I've got some WD-40 here and I'm going to generously spray it onto my blower motor. That should actually just help it lubricate and stop making the squeaking noise it's making as soon as you turn the AC on.
Now I'm spraying a generous amount to cover all of the area.
Can't hear any noise from here. So I'm going to wipe off all the excess and then I should have a good working blower motor. Now with the blower motor out of the car, I'm also going to check for any other things that might be hindering with the actual motor itself or the blades of the motor that's causing the noise. If there is nothing, then we should be able to just put it all back together and then we should have one working blower motor with no squeaking noise. Now if you guys don't already know, I don't have a mechanic background. I'm just learning as I go, so trying to find out why there's a check engine light and why I keep getting all the coolant warning is going to be very interesting. So I just got done checking inside. There's nothing that seems to be hindering the actual motor itself, so I'm assuming if that was the only thing that was wrong with the blower motor, which was having no grease because the car has been sitting outside for so long. That should essentially fix the problem. So I'm going to put it all back together and then I'm going to start the car up, see how it performs.
Now the process for putting things back together was identical to the reverse of originally taking it out, just that the position of the bolts were far deep in, so it was a little bit hard to reach.
Now with the last screw popped back in, the blower motor is back in place. I'm going to plug the power back into the motor. This power back. Now let's try to turn the car on to see if there's still any more noise. And now with the AC set to low and the fan speed set to high, there is no noise, so that was a successful fix. Now what I'm going to do next is to put the glove box back together and then we'll start checking for the check engine light. So I'm going to plug back all of these connections. And now with everything plugged back in, the glove box can sit back in its spot. And now with the glove box put back together, the problem with the AC is solved. Moving on to the next one, which is the check engine light and the coolant warnings. Now to check for coolant, I'm going to start with the coolant reservoir. It was empty when I initially got the car, so now it seems like there's not much coolant in the car, so I'm going to fill it up with some coolant and some distilled water. And then I'm going to run it over a week, see if there's any more leakage. If there is, that means there's a leak in the hose or there's something wrong with the radiator or something. So I'm going to top this up and then we'll move on to diagnosing the check engine light.
Coolant radiator can be filled with distilled water and a mixture of coolant itself.
The coolant has been topped up to max level. Now since I'm here, I'm also going to fill up the washer fluid. Now I wasn't planning to, but since I'm here, I'm also going to give it a quick clean, which is going to make it easier for me to work here and also film here.
Now I'm just spraying it with some APC and scrubbing it with a wheel brush because this is quite a greasy area, so it's easy to get it clean.
Now that looks 1,000 times cleaner and is non-greasy to touch now, which is going to make it easier for me to actually work here and to film here. Now taking the actual cover out, let's see if there's something obvious that I can find wrong in here. Now checking the actual level and the quality of oil. Let me get the dipstick in, but the actual quality of oil is not bad. Still in decent condition. I'm still going to give it a service. Checking all of the connections, I'm not sure what that plug or pin there is for, but that was just sitting there loose. And that might be the reason why we are having the check engine light, because it's intermittent. It's not consistently on. It comes on as you drive and goes away, comes on, goes away. So that could be the reason. So I've just popped it back in, it's plugged in. And then once I start driving, we can kind of find out if that was the fix for it or not. As to for low coolant levels, I think that was the case. That has been sorted. That has been sorted. Let's give it a drive and see if that has fixed anything or not. Now I've decided since I'm here, I'll give this a quick clean too. Just spray.
Now again, I'm using the same wheel brush and the same APC as the surface is not smooth, so this will do the best job.
Start it up. Alright, no check engine light. And no warning for coolant. Impressive. I'm gonna take this around the block for a quick drive and see if any of the warnings come back. So I've just taken the car for a drive around the block and none of the lights seems to have come back, which means that could have been the fix, and we might have gotten away with a cheap fix. That would increase onto our profitability on this car. And that is going to be it for me in this video. In the next one, I'm going to try to take care of the cosmetic sides of this car, and also the speakers in this car seem to have been blown, which I'm going to try and fix for very cheap. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. and I'm gonna see you guys for the next one. Peace.